Hi everyone, my name is Jessica, and in this vlog I talk about a video that I watched on TED.com that's called What Fear Can Teach Us. First, I talk about the prediction that I did before I watched the video. Next, what the speaker discusses about. And finally, I will give my opinion about it. So, first, I predicted that the speaker is going to talk about the outcomes of situations where we face really hard problems, and she might give some examples of situations that make people scared and how fear helped. That is, what are the benefits of fear? So, in this video, the speaker used the inductive method of presenting ideas. She starts with the example of the whale ship Essex that was lost in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and by giving this example, she starts discussing the fear issue and the effects of it. So, in this lecture, the speaker gives us four main ideas. The first is how fear feels. She gives the example of neuroscientists that they have shown human beings are hardwired to be optimists. And next, she makes a comparison between fear and imagination, and she gives the example of her childhood in California. The second main idea of the lecture is what can the rest of us learn about fear? She come back to the whale ship Essex, and she gives emphasis on frightening rumors. Next, she gives example of fear as unintentional stories. She discusses that fear make the situation become a story, and the main character is us. Um, Next, she point out that fear has suspenses. Uh, for example, what will it make us think in what will happen next and project ourselves to the future. And she gives an example of her first novel. And next, she talks about ourselves as the readers of our fears. And she gives the example of successful entrepreneurs and the productive paranoia. The third main idea of the lecture is fears can predict the future. And in this point, she came back again to the whale ship Essex, and she talks about what they thought about the cannibals, that it was a really difficult thing to think about. And next, she gives the combination of artistic and scientific. She she thought that it's very crucial to have the artistic passion and the judgment of scientists when we face difficult things. And the last main idea of this lecture is fears are an amazing way to get imagination. And at this point, she discusses how the future will play out. That is, uh, how the fears play out on us and make us think about the future and how we get imagination with that. So, finally, I will give my opinion about this video. I agree with her point because fear is something that really pushes us to think about the situation. For example, when we face a thought situation, like when we meet a big and furious dog in an empty street, we rapidly start to think in possible solutions and what will happen next if we should run or face it. So fear is has a really good benefits on us.